after the video, Nastya, you will speak.
Yeah, we are going this way. We have video first, like while people are gathering to the stream, like it was last year, and then we are just jumping in as moderators, and we go with Fabian first, and then you.
Это супер крутая инновационная идея.
So it's a cool, innovative idea. When I have seen the first idea that's going to be organized, I said, I have to do that. Okay, you have to register once again, new notifications. I didn't know that there was a very good hot point of ideas. This was nothing like that before that. And we have never done anything like this before in Ukraine. So Hacticulture is an online event where the participants in 48 hours are going to be generating the cultural ideas.
With House of Europe, with the EU delegation in Ukraine, with the German embassy in Ukraine, we're all wondering how this crisis affects the cultural scene here in Ukraine and how we can support the culture here. Of course, you can say that everyone needs money to continue to work, so this would have been really an easy solution, but we believe that there's probably more that we can support, like building platforms or building up new collaborations.
House of Europe is a quite a broad program working with 6 reform sectors in Ukraine, but the immediate crisis response that we developed together with the European Union is centered around the cultural sector because it is identified as the most vulnerable. We also feel the need that new formats need to be invented that carry culture to the digital realm.
We had a big hackathon for not only the cultural sphere, but all creative people and NGOs in Germany. It was called We versus Virus, We Against Virus. And this gave us the idea to think about this format. Yeah, also in Ukraine to support the cultural sphere.
And I'm still also impressed of the numbers. We had over 1,000 participants. That is really an exciting experience for me somehow. Yeah, it's really crazy to see online so many people somehow connected.
Ми зробили відкритий простір, де можна було сформувати команду, доєднатися до команди, якимось чином долучитися до ідеї якоїсь, наприклад. І після в нас була реєстрація.
After that, we also had the registration of the ideas for the hackathon to be started. And after that, all of those teams, they have been working with the checkpoints. At the first checkpoints, they needed to show their results. And after that, the work of the evaluator has started. And the jury has chosen the top 3 ideas in the discussion. What were the projects that participated in? We had an idea of how can you provide for the poets and the artists the platform for collaboration and how can you monetize their creativity. There was a very big good for punch for us to discuss the ideas that we have had before that for the hypermarket of ideas and culture, and then to check it out of whether it is better. And in our services, we wanted to collect most of the information about the castles that we have in Ukraine, but not only about the castles, but how to help the people to get there and to give them the opportunity to get there. We have created a special Instagram page and Facebook page, and we have placed all of the masterpieces there, and we are continuing developing that for the next direction. We started with working with B2B direction, but we've talked to the mentors, and we had the B2C in our concept after that. So around 130 mentors that we've had, but mentors of the highest level. So there are the CEOs of the technology companies, the lawyers, the business owners, and it's basically that people who are doing the very cool business ideas. So what I've seen as my task, it's basically that we're asking the uncomfortable questions of whether you have the projects like this on the market. Is that definitely a problem? Do you have enough target audience? Whether they basically is not a invented a problem that doesn't exist in the real world. So basically those are the questions for the entrepreneurs. Well, yeah, the advice on marketing, on the online promotion, or in the ways of engaging your audience, working with your sponsors. We've had many different types of trainings during the pitches. We have discussed it, and as a person from the outside, then maybe we have also discussed the topic of additional content when you can cut it out, and also given them some kind of a solution. So basically what can do, because
way how Ukrainians can, during the critical situations, unite and not stop working, continue on the best example, presenting their works and still working.
Мне кажется, это прям невероятно.
Well, I do believe that this is a breakthrough. It's very cool that the international institution and European institutions had joined in this project to get in this really short period of time to connect so many different people from the world of creative technologies and to join them, so that they could generate their ideas, so they can think of how they can help the culture. That was unbelievable, and this is a great example of collaboration. Some of the ideas, they were ready ahead of time.
But it was a great, energizing team feeling.
Всім вітання.
So, hello, everyone. So, hello, everyone. My name is Olga Tuharinova. I'm the project manager on behalf of Goethe Institute in Ukraine. On the other side, you can see Anastasia Sliptova from Digital 6 Place. So, Nastya, hi there. So, okay, dear friends, it's a very, very exciting moment for all of us. I think for you as well, because I think you all have been waiting for our work to start, the work on innovative ideas that might actually save us from the terrible problems that have already been with us for a year. I think that we can already cut the ribbon open for our hackathon. I think we can officially announce that we are now launching launching our Hackathon 2.0 Hack the Culture. For the second year in a row, Goethe Institute Ukraine, together with House of Europe and Digitize in Space, our lawyer partners, with the support of the European Union, are joining the technological and cultural creative spheres. So that in order on this juxtaposition to find the innovative solutions, because currently the conditions and environment we currently live in, they need the new approaches and resolutions from us. What Hackathon is about? So Hackathon is, first of all, the game of words that presupposes that, first of all, you have some of the work, the hackathon of it, that is done online when all of our participants work from their home places. So our hackathon is about 48 hours of ideathon that collects the people and engages the people from digital creative industries and joins them with entrepreneurs, and all together those really nice people should get together, meet one another, match one another, and to develop a resolution that is going to be transforming the cultural spaces in the post-pandemic environment, and they will be able to implement those ideas on the intersection of culture and technology. So basically this human component, the component of communication, is one of the most important traits of this event that we're launching today, because it's very important for us to create the free space not only to generate ideas but also to provide the space for people to get acquainted with others whom they should never could have met. So the Hack the Culture Hackathon is aiming on generating new ideas, and of course the second edition for us is always about challenges. For us, as for the organizers, it has been a challenge as well. You know, organizing the second hackathon has also been a challenge for itself. And because we also always wanted and still want to recreate the success of last year, but actually, we are aiming to have even better results, and as far as I know, that we are already managed to reach the very good number in Slack. So I think that if you are now watching our stream, you know what Slack is, and I know that the team of the project knows what that is as well, and we're going to give you an update on those figures and numbers a little bit later. So having that said, I think I would like to pass the floor to my colleague, our great and loyal partner, Anastasia Slipsova. Nastya, please, the floor is yours. Ola, thank you very much for this nice introduction. For basically, this is already the second edition for our hackathon, and this is definitely going to be very different from the first edition, because now the conditions has changed and now the reality of our life has changed significantly as well. But we are sure that this hackathon, like, we do not know the results yet, we only can see the figures under the registration. And thank you very much, first of all, for joining us this year, even though it's summer, even though it's weekend right now, even though many people might be on vacation and all of the other things happening around us in Ukraine. Thank you for joining us here today, because basically the numbers, they speak very loud. Now we have around 2,000 plus more people in Slack, and some people have even skipped the registration. So we will speak about that more during the presentation of the hackathon. But right now, I would like to thank our partners, not only our participants that make it perfect, but also we would like to thank our partners who really helped us to make impossible possible, to gather you all here from different districts of Ukraine here, the representatives of different professions, the representatives of different age, collect you and gather you here in this online platform. Partners, the British Council, the Institute Français, the Czech Center in Kiev, and also we have very good, and I would like to say very open partners from the tech sector, the tech company Grammarly, and I think that Grammarly is now a well-known company that we also are supporting the видавничий sector, and we basically have prepared a lot of bonuses for our partners, and Grammarly will provide the premium licenses for their product, for for the finalist projects. We also have an ecosystem partner, the Unit City. The Unit City supports with the urbanist and digital art teams. The finalists in these directions, they're going to become a part of the Nest community that is located in Unit City. Moreover, 3 additional working places in Innovative Park, participation in events, meeting potential partners, and basically additional services from Amazon Web Services. We're really grateful to Unit City for this kind of great offers and that kind of bonuses. And I would like to say that this is actually an incentive to our final prizes and final awards. We also have the project company that is our partner that will provide for the 3 finalists. The 3 finalist team will provide their access for their library for a year. More than 300 video lectures on design, marketing, project management, advertisements, web design, and the conferences of the projects that will be organized by projectors. And they're very cool, if you know. And if you know, I think that all of the people who are working in creative and cultural sphere, you are aware of what Projector does and how much it can cost you if you are not have the subscription there. But before we get to the most of the organizational issues, we would like to welcome our co-organizers, our partners, to invite them to have the introductory words so that they will tell us about what the hackathon is about for them. So having that said, I would like to welcome Fabian Multala, the head of the Kruті Institute in Ukraine, our strategic partner for 2nd year in a row, who are helping us not only in organizational, conceptual, and strategical issues, but they're also helping us with good mentorship. So, Fabian, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Well, hello, everybody. On behalf of the Goethe Institute, I would like to welcome also you to one of the most exciting and future-oriented projects of Goethe Institute and House of Europe. Already before the pandemic, the Goethe Institute, as the German Cultural Institute, has dared to widen its horizon from conventional, strictly cultural and artistic formats to strong connections to the civil society, innovative formats, the tech world and creative industries. The Hataton 2020 last year started as a direct crisis response program and pushed forward this general idea of reorientation. After the huge success of last year's Hataton, Goethe Institute, House of Europe, and Digitizing Space, with the support of the European Union, are organizing for the 2nd time this Ideaton in order to generate anti-crisis solutions for the cultural sphere. Back in 2020, only a few weeks into the pandemic, the Hataton idea emerged as an initiative of the Goethe Institute Ukraine. This initiative was welcomed very warmly by the EU-funded House of Europe and also the German Embassy. With these joint efforts, it was possible to organize this ambitious endeavor in an extremely short time. The European Union, via its flagship project, House of Europe, mobilized substantial funds and grant follow-up projects emerging from the partnerships. From the Hataton. The first Hataton in 2020 was the impetus for new partnerships, helped develop a wide range of anti-crisis projects, and gathered more than 1,300 participants and 210 ideas. These were, and still are, record figures for ideathons and hackathons in Ukraine. We are very proud of that. It's not a secret that the cultural and creative sector was affected by COVID-19 in a particular tough way. Goethe Institute, not only in Ukraine, felt that there was a need of immediate help and initiated various forms of support for the cultural and creative sector. Yet, 1 year later, now in 2021, the challenges posed by COVID-19 still persist. With Hataton 2.0, Hack the Culture, we decided to create once again a highly dynamic online space where professionals from different sectors can meet and find their perfect partner in crime to generate and catalyze extraordinary crisis-resilient ideas. Which are the 6 sectors? Well, we have music, cinema, theater, visual and digital arts, books and media projects, urbanism, and of course, what is my favorite, a cross-sectoral niche. It is worth noting that this year the prize fund was raised to 30,000 euros. But while the financial support is important, we believe it is not the only or even not the main benefit of the Hataton. Hataton is about forming new alliances. It's about strengthening the cultural field through the support of tech scene, hooking up representatives of IT and business fields with cultural projects and mindsets to the benefit of both. The best experts from culture and tech scene are going to provide their mentorship and supervising support for the participating teams during the upcoming 2 intensive days. The statistics show that we reached almost 2,000 registered participants on Slack. No doubt everyone among you is familiar with this word by now. I wish good luck, endurance, and also fun to all the enthusiasts who joined Hataton 2.0, and I'm looking forward to watching the final pitches on Sunday. Have fun and enjoy. Thank you very much.
Пане Фабіане, ми дуже дякуємо вам за таку...
Thank you, Fabian. Thank you very much for this very nice speech. Unfortunately, we were not able to see you during the speech, but we were able to hear you well. So I really do think that it's very important, even though we have this very fun and informal format of our project, it is still very important to keep those very important topics and very important bases in mind as well, that we've got here together in order to find the ways out of this really deep crisis that we got in 2020. And basically, we understand that we really would like to support the cultural sphere because they have been affected the most. And that is why we are concentrating on very different sectors of the cultural fields. And Fabian has mentioned those sectors that we would like to concentrate, and Fabian had mentioned them in his presentation. And I would like to pass the floor another person that without whose support we wouldn't have the first hackathon and second hackathon. Our support in ideas, the director of House of Europe, Dr. Christian Dima. So Christian, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Olya, for the nice words. Again, I'm very happy to be here, and I should say to be back. I felt nostalgic when watching the video that you showed in the very beginning. I very much recall the atmosphere still from back then. I was actually, it was spring, the pandemic had just hit Ukraine. Ukraine went into the lockdown a little later than other countries in the EU, but then it arrived, you know, seriously, and we really were in the lockdown. Everybody was sitting at home, and then I was actually, if you watch closely in the video, I was sitting in the very same room in which I'm sitting now. And then we were having the Hataton, because we were all sitting in our hatas, right? And that was, it felt so great to be in the right place in the right moment, you know, a few weeks after the pandemic had hit us and had hit the cultural sector above all, in times where the impact, the fallout of the pandemic crisis was not even possible to see how big, how fatal the impact would be. In that time, to be in a position to launch an event that brought together so many people and generated so many ideas and connected even the great Ukrainian spirits and minds with some of the experts from the EU so that they jointly work on those ideas. That was really a great feeling. It really felt very good to be able to do that. A few words again on...
Hallo? Ja, ich bin fertig soweit. Danke.
And who is behind this? So I'm representing the House of Europe. Is an EU-funded program, and the implementation of the House of Europe is led by the Goethe Institute. And the Hataton is one of the beautiful examples where actually we developed within the Goethe Institute a cross-department collaboration between House of Europe and the non-House of Europe Goethe Institute. And we found a fantastic technical partner digitizing space. And thanks to the fact that House of Europe is an EU-funded program, we could actually mobilize the funds that you wanted and wants to channel into a substantial COVID-19 response in order to lend support to the cultural sector, and not just the cultural sector, directly into the Hataton. And this is now possible already for the second time. A lot has changed since 1 year. Many of us have adjusted to the pandemic realities, so has the House of Europe, where majority of our program lines, meanwhile, are COVID-19 compatible. And if you check our website, you will see that the program is up and roaring with a lot of opportunities that are open for applications. The Goethe Institute, the partners, all of you have adjusted and probably are not exclusively sitting in the Hata, but maybe at the beach or maybe even in your offices, partly. However, we felt that it is worthwhile having a second Hataton, not just because the challenge that the pandemic poses to the cultural sector is still there. I mean, at the moment, probably a little less so, but let's be honest, when the temperatures will go down, probably we'll be in distress again, more or less. Hopefully we have developed some resilience, but still some of the challenges that we were working on, that we were facing for the first time 1 year ago, they prevail. But also because the Hataton was just so great, and the ideas that came across, that it helped catalyze, were so worthwhile, we really felt it's needed a second time. And we're very happy that it's happening now a second time. The numbers were already mentioned. They were record-breaking. Last year was actually the largest online ideathon in Ukraine so far. It had been, to my knowledge, it was also the first ever culture-related online ideathon last year. And this year, I mean, according to the registration numbers, we were able to reach those numbers again. And that's not usual, because if you look outside and if you compare the weather that we're having now to the weather that we were having back then in April, and if you compare the overall situation, that's really, you guys rock that you registered in such multitude, in such an amount. We have 1,025 registrations, and even better, we have 97 projects. That's even 34 projects more than we had last year. And maybe even some of the last year's participants who are also with us and will be with us in the Hataton, and the mentors. It has already been mentioned, we have redesigned the Hataton a little bit. Last year you were working on 3 main challenges that we identified, but very general challenges: collaboration, distribution, business models that were affected by COVID. This year we decided to not impose any topic. It's really up to you. We just put you in those general slots, disciplinary slots, music, theaters, cinema, etc., urbanism, and then the cross-sectoral one. And the cross-sectoral one, Fabian already mentioned, is particularly important because this Hataton is about being cross-sectoral. The strength of this format is in bringing together those diverse people that in normal life would not meet, in offline life, and even in normal online life they would not need. They need this format. They need a format that is condensed in 48 very, very dynamic, maybe very stressful hours. They need this structure with checkpoints, with channels, with moderators, with enforcers that make sure that the participants of the Hataton actually react with one another, that all those people from the culture sector, from the business sector, from the tech sector, create something or help creating something that is larger than the sum of the individual components. And there are a lot of individual components with more than 1,000 people registered. So thank you very much to the colleagues at the Goethe Institute. Thank you very much to my own team at House of Europe. Thank you to the European Union delegation who is funding all this. Thank you to Digitizing Space, our wonderful technical partner. And thanks to you all for registering, for not being on the beach. Or maybe you are, but thanks for being the main that you're here with us. enjoy the upcoming 48 hours. We'll be much looking forward to the results, and we'll see each other again in 2 days at the jury pitching, where you will pitch, where the most promising projects will pitch in front of a jury, and we will award prizes. Very much looking forward to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Дякую, Christian. Це насправді
Thank you, Christian. So that was So that was definitely a very interesting thing to happen last year, because for the very first time we have been brainstorming for the whole concept. We have been working with a big team overall in consulting, and this year we're already doing it in a different format. So yeah, we're not doing it from our huts, we're doing it from the beach or from whatever. So maybe that will be the preferences of this year, that people can code from their summer houses, from some kind of exotic destinations or exotic vacations if they are on one. We're also really grateful for this mentoring hackathon concept. We're really happy that we've managed to get together and we've managed to establish this long-term partnership overall. And right now, we would like to welcome another strategic partner for the hackathon, the one that have been supporting us for 2 years in a row. Please welcome the Deputy Head of the Representative of European Union in Ukraine, Rami Duflo.
Good evening or good morning, dear Hataton participants. The pandemic is still hitting hard our healthcare systems, our economies and societies, while all the efforts of citizens, doctors, entrepreneurs and policymakers in the European Union and in Ukraine have already helped a lot. We will need time, more time to recover. Supporting the recovery of culture and creative industries holds a special place on our EU-Ukraine agenda, more specifically helping them not just survive, but adjust, reinvent themselves and thrive in the future. Your fresh ideas and innovative solutions can help people and organizations in culture and creative industries overcome the crisis and seize the opportunities in it. The Hataton catalyzes new alliances between people with different skills and backgrounds. I wish that these 2 very intense days will be a breakthrough for you and your projects and an inspiration for many others who can build on them. I'm happy to welcome you on board of the 2nd edition of this event, which we, the delegation of the European Union to Ukraine, are proud to support. I'm delighted to have the House of Europe, the Goethe Institute Ukraine, and the Digital for many others who can build on them. I'm happy to welcome you on board of the 2nd edition of this event, which we, the delegation of the European Union to Ukraine, are proud to support. I am delighted to have the House of Europe, the Goethe Institute Ukraine, and the Digitizing.Space team as partners in this edition. I'm also welcoming all mentors and participants from the European Union. Thank you all for joining. Stay motivated and productive, and don't forget to have fun throughout your 48-hour hackathon. I wish you all lots of success.
Дякую, пане Ремо.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you very much. We're really proud of the strategic collaboration that we have established with the EU delegation. We're really proud of the strategic collaboration that we have established. Well, basically, at this very moment, we would like to get Yes, so if we also have the most important organizational notification for the hackathon, because we have a lot of questions, operational questions, and in Slack, in our stream, and I might be slightly frustrated because we have a lot of participants and they're asking what is okay, what is not. But I would like to just remind you that we have a very detailed instructions for the participants. You should always take a look at that. So basically, it has the answers to all of your questions. If you don't find the answers there, please let us know. Then already addressed to us. In our Slack channel, you also have our community manager. She's going to answer to all of your questions. We also have the announcements channel in Slack, where you can also take a look at all of the relevant information for you. But right now, let us very briefly consider the 9 stages of our Hackathon 2.0. And so the date, 16-18 July, this is a very important date for us because we have been preparing for this date for a couple of months. We have been gathering different partners, and basically we have collected and gathered all of our participants. We really wanted to follow the balance between the cultural people, cultural mentors, and we wanted to have it 50-50 balance. We really wanted to build up the effective networking. We really wanted to make it an effective acquaintances. We wanted to make it very comfortable for you to generate all of the different ideas and building up different prizes and awards that will help you in the implementation of your idea that might then influence the whole sector or the whole situation in the cultural sector in Ukraine, or maybe it will even influence the development of culture in European context. What if Hackathon and Ideathon is about? So basically, you might see that I have getting the courage that I'm going to show some of the photos from the offline hackathons. So the hackathon is about the concentration of different people in the very same space, where we have the many different people joining, and this is the biggest brainstorm activity, and everyone is doing something, and you can see if you have ever seen that in offline, and if you have been participating in hackathon, then you basically know what is the ambience of it. It's really hard to recreate this ambience anywhere else. Last year, when the pandemic has started, we have started to test out the online format for our further on work, and that was clear for us that it's going to be something different happening. But the idea of the intensive brainstorming, the idea of generating cool ideas of generating cool ideas. I'm sorry for maybe being a little bit wordy, but you can know that the ambience is preserved. We try to preserve this ambience of the hackathon. So what is the difference between hackathon and ideathon? Because our format is hackathon. The hackathon is about developing the technological products, so technological resolutions. We never limit our participants in technology of choice. In our database of ideas, you might see many different programs or cultural projects, residences, different curatorship programs. The only thing for us is that we're always asking you up till 11 o'clock in the evening to review your ideas. We have always announced that in the announcement in Slacks, or we have even written down in different channels as well under the comment section to each and every project that you've submitted. Please make sure whether your idea is in the focus of the hackathon. Please do the double check for your ideas, because sometimes we have many differentiated ideas, very many differentiated teams, but you still have the time so that your idea was included into the overall topic and the segment of our event. What does the anti-crisis mean? You have to answer 2 questions. In what way my project is going to support the cultural sectors that are in the focus of the hackathon? In what way my project is going to help these cultural sectors during the pandemic and post-pandemic period? Maybe you can add some of the components there as well. Maybe you can add up something to that. Maybe you can focus on different things. and we can help you to do that. Please let us know. Let us know in Slack. Please brainstorm with your team answering these 2 questions. Please invite new participants to your teams because we have a lot of individual participants who have really great experience, and you can engage them as well into your team. And there will be a significant impact for your idea. Next slide, please.
Цей слайд я робила ще
I've done this slide even before we had more than 1,000 of registered participants. We have 1,027 participants registered. We have 97 teams, more than 100 mentors that are going to be helping you throughout Hackathon. And in Slack, we already have 2,000. Let me take a look at that. Let me take a look at this. I'm going to check it live. 2019 participants. I think that if we will have 2021 participants in Slack, it will have a symbolic meaning as well. So what can we do with all of this concentration of the people, experience, and what you should do? Communicate. Inside of the hackathon, during the ideathon, it is very important to understand that it's about the active participation. It's not about being passive here. So if you will need to have a consultation from mentors, then you have to go to our database. You have to take a look at the list of mentors available. You have to sign up for their consultations. You have to catch them in Slack. You have to follow them so they will answer you. And answering them very frequently, you ask questions, the mentors that are working directly during the hackathon. If you haven't been answered by mentors throughout this week, they shouldn't have answered you. If they answered, there is a great gratitude from our behalf because they have already joined our work. So mentoring work is done during the hackathon. So yes, let us get to the next slide and I will tell you a little bit more about the mentors. So this is the main schedule for the event, and we will going to send it to you once again. And how is going to be doing that? It is very important for you. This 11 o'clock in the evening Kyiv time. That this is the deadline time. This is when the time when you should already had built your team, providing your idea, and to generate the idea and provide the idea that you're going to be working on during the hackathon. That's very important to do that. From 11 up till midnight, our community managers are going to sort you out with the other people, and you're going to meet your mentors and team members in the morning on Saturday. So it is very important to wake up at 9 o'clock on Saturday and to get to the first checkpoint at 10 o'clock on Saturday. The first checkpoint is about meeting your team mentors. Each team will have the team mentors that will help you throughout the hackathon. Those are definitely the highly expertized people, experienced people. A lot of those people have already been joining us for the 2nd year in a row. And right now we have been working with them, even though there has been a very intense schedule for all of us. Last year, they have joined us and now have joined us again. They know how to work with teams. They know how to work with you and how to deal with you. They're going to help you with the expert mentors as well. They might help you with your ideas as well. So please stick to your team mentors. The next checkpoint is going to be in Saturday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. Once again, I'm going to say that once again later on, but basically all of us, we should understand that the checkpoints are important. They are obligatory. So you have to sign it up in your Google Calendar. You have to, write it on the wall, whatever. Do whatever that's possible for you not to miss out the checkpoints, because the team that will not pass the checkpoints, they will not be provided for the final evaluation. And we really want all of the team to pass it through and for everyone to be good. So basically, we already had this, that we didn't manage to get somewhere. We just lost of sight, or we fell asleep. So no, it is impossible for us. You have to pass all of the checkpoints. The final checkpoint that you might already show some of your projects, so your prototypes, your presentations, whatever you would like to show in the final pitching will be in the morning of 18th July. After that, After that, you're going to need to remember yet another important deadline that you cannot miss if you would like to win. 2 o'clock on Sunday, we're going to close the registration for the final projects for the pitching session. So basically, you need to, up till that time, up till 2 o'clock on Sunday, you need to make the final video pitch and to fill in the form. The form will be available for you on Saturday. It is all will be announced by our community managers. So once again, would like to tell you, if you have lost something, if you do not understand what is going on, the first thing, take a look at the guidebook for the participants. It's been mentioned there. And the second step is to let us know to the community managers, to all of the available channels. I don't know, address me if you will find me. And by the way, I'm going to tell you right now in what way you can find me or other mentors. Great. So I haven't spoken about the finals yet, but before the finals, we still have 2 days to go through. We're going to be confirming that, communicating that straight away. How you should set up Slack. So all of the participants, they should start their Slack profile. Why? Because doing that, you'll be able to find your mentors. In this way, we will be able to contact you, to add you to the proper channels. And this way, you'll be able to find other participants as well. That is very important. So please make sure that you will write your name properly, to identify some description for what you are, where you are, what team you are from. You can see that all on the site, and please make sure that you will actually fill it in properly in your Slack profile. And I'm going to mention that as well. That's very important. Next slide, please. So again, searching in Slack. I've made this screen specially for you. How to search in Slack. That is definitely a very comfortable search engine in Slack, and you have to use it. Please do use it. If, for example, you want to find the team lead for a certain team, or you would like to find your mentor, you've lost your channel, you've got lost overall, you want to find some mentor that you have seen on the slide, but you haven't seen them in Slack. We are using the search for that. Again, if you do not see this person in the search, if you do not see some information on the person or mentor or the organizer, please again let us know in the Slack channels, for the Ask Organizers channels. Next slide, please. So once again and again, this is the guidebook for the participants. This is what it looks like. You might find all of the main points that I've already informed you about. If you haven't seen it yet, please, we would like to ask you to take a look at that. Next, please. I've mentioned that already. I'm going to mention it once again. So this is the most important question. So basically of how you should build your team. What do you need to do till 11 o'clock today? Up till 11 o'clock today, you will need to find the individual participants if you have already had your team. And if you need some professionals, if you will need to build up your team, because one of the criteria for evaluation is the expertise for the team, and please make sure you'll note that as well. If you would like to do a project with, I don't know, for example, on theater, and you do not have a person who is working with theater, who knows something about theater, then maybe that is going to be awarded with a lower points. So basically, you have to find yourself a person, and I've seen a lot of many really cool professionals that you can communicate with, and that are going to be the very great assets for you. I don't know why just the English language is all the first language that I can recollect today, but it's definitely going to be the very great benefit for your team. The individual participants, I would like to ask you right now, if you will not be able to find a team till 11 o'clock today, or if you do not have any kind of ideas that you would like to offer, and you cannot find any other individual participants who will help you to implement this idea, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in hackathon. The minimum amount of people in the team has to be 2 people. The maximum amount of people in a team is 7. So please, right now, let us again, for the intro channel, for the sectoral channels, let people know about you, sell your expertise, make everything happen so that you would be included into this process, so you will be able to find one another. So please make sure that you recall the deadline, 11 o'clock in the evening today. We also have the brainstorming as well. Right now, all of the participants are writing this, all of their ideas into the intro channel now. So basically, that's very general channel. So we would like to ask you to go to the sectoral channels that have been created specifically for the ideas. The intro channel in Slack has been created for you to introduce yourself. Then the cross-sectoral channels have been created so you'll be able to present your ideas. So please make sure that you will go to the proper channels and you will present your ideas, even if those ideas sound crazy for you, even if they believe that they are very raw yet for this for the presentation. But this is what hackathon is about. This is what ideathon is about, to turn your ideas into projects and to find the experts that will help you to do that. Next slide. The checkpoints, I've already mentioned that, so please make sure that you're going to see those checkpoints. So once again, it has been mentioned in the guidebook as well. It's going to be communicated further on. It will be communicated more and more. Please make sure that you will have to make all of those checkpoints. They are obligatory. You have to be at those checkpoints. You will have to communicate at this checkpoint together with the team mentors during those checkpoints as well. Next, please. The video pitch. The video pitch is, again, we do not have any general or any big requirements to make it a professional video pitch. You can even make it on your phone. It can be very simple. The most important thing for us in this case, that's so that you would cover the 9 questions in that video, the main questions and the main criteria that will be evaluated by the jury by that time. So please make sure that the video that you're going to be uploading, this is your presentation. You only have 2 minutes to sell your projects, to sell your ideas. In the startup world, it is something that is called the elevator pitch, which it basically means that you are selling your ideas during traveling in an elevator. So in the shortest period of time, you should sell your project to the jury. So if you also have to include the main criteria that you will have to cover. The video has to be provided till 2 o'clock on Sunday. We will communicate it further on, but we know that right now you're overwhelmed with information. I know that we have some participants from last year. They already know the rules. They already understand how intensive the ideathon format is. For the new participants, I would like to wish you, do not panic. Everything's okay. You will do that. So basically everything is okay. Everything can be communicated. Next slide, please. The evaluation criteria. So we have different evaluation criteria, and basically we are prepared those criteria, the ones that are going to be evaluated by the hackathon jury. First of all, the team, whether your team has enough expertise and whether your team has motivation, whether you're active. So for all of your teams, the team mentors will provide you certain commands, and whether you communicated, whether you were active, it's basically whether you were ready for the feedback and whether you were open towards the feedback, whether you're ready to provide the strategic sessions together with the mentors. So basically, those are the criteria that are going to be evaluated by the team mentors and the jury based on the expertise of the team. So you have to highlight the team in your presentation, in your video presentation is important. Impact. in what way your project will impact for the cultural sphere and cultural sectors in Ukraine. This is something that I've already written in the announcement channel with caps lock. So this is basically something, who are you going to be trying to make it better for? So the potential, the third criteria, on whether your ideas have the potential for the implementation. What is the timing for the implementation of the idea? We mean that there's might be something good, to do something simple, to validate it, to beta test it, to present that, and then maybe to scale this idea up. The presentation is about on whether you're able to do that in a coherent and really laconic way of how you communicate your idea and what you have been going through during the hackathon. And the progress, this is something that you do during the hackathon. Like, for example, we have developed and designed a strategy, we have designed a prototype, we have launched a site, we have found 5 artists because we're doing the service for the artists, we have surveyed them, we have made the customer review, they're really happy and satisfied, they want our product and they're ready to buy it from us, or I don't know, to use it further on, or whatever that is about your project. The progress is because during the hackathon, the progress is about basically the log journal, what has been done during the based on technology. The ideathon is about the progress from prototype to development to implementation. So the more material you'll be able to provide, the more specific, peculiar actions you can do it. It will definitely depend on the specific of project because we have very different projects. It might be coding, and if it's a technological product, so you can show the prototype. But please make sure that the juries that are going to be evaluating it on the implementability of this project. So it's kind of the progress is about the potential as well. Next slide, please. The teams for the projects, and I've wanted to make it a screen from Slack. We're all working in Slack. We're all going to be with you for 24/7 in Slack throughout the hackathon. We're all open towards your ideas, towards your questions, offers, whatever you might have. So please let us know. This is our team. And the next slide, please. And we hope to see you in Slack. But right now, I think that it's high time for us. I want to invite my colleague Olga back to join me on the floor, and I want to also invite other great people that are here with us today. And Nastya, wait a second, I can actually hold you back a little bit of suspense because, I'll get this attention back to me. Well, great, thank you very much for this very nice instruction of what is going to be happening further on. So basically, that was very good, and according to all of those criteria that you have already mentioned, you can work with any kind of projects and look for donors. So basically, our hackathon is not just about the competition itself, but about gaining new skills as well. And even that after this kind of detailed presentation, we're going to have questions still, and we have had these questions as well. So that is why we have prepared the really good soft security pillows for our participants with all available guidelines provided for our participants. And what is the most important, we have provided them the mentorship support. Mentors are always our little helpers. There are the main pillars that our hackathon holds on to, and the whole success is made by mentors as well. Like, last year and this year, that has been a very nice team of the people and mentors, and we're really proud of that as a team. So what I also wanted to say about this issue, and I wanted to also mention that we have the team mentors and the expert mentors. The team mentors are the people who are going to be supporting the teams from very beginning, from 11 o'clock in the evening today up till time that you will have to work. And right now you still have the opportunity to get registered. So please, up till 11 o'clock today, you still have time to get your team registered. And basically, with those mentors, With those mentors, you'll be able to work. They're going to support you. They're going to direct you. They're going to give you the best of words that you need to hear. And there's definitely going to help you to resolve some of the organizational issues as well. So except for the team mentors, we also have the expert mentors available. Those are the people that our participants should address with more specific questions. So in order to improve, in order to test out their ideas, and in order to make them ideal. Okay, good. I think there is the three of us right now. So, this is the moment when we are getting to the next stage, because our mentors are everything for us. They are the main people for us. We wanted to visualize some of the mentors today, and we wanted to introduce them to the world, to share our treasure with all of the other people. Right now, you can see that Olena Skirta is joining us, our team mentor for this year, and the co-founder of the In Science organization. This is the scientific platform that promotes science in combining it with businesses. So basically, I really like all of the ideas that Olena is curating with their team. And last year, Olena has been a part of our team as well. But the hackathon, I think hackathon is forever. Once you participate in a hackathon, you're always there. That's true. And yes, this year, she could not stand this idea of not participating in this hackathon as well. And she has taken our offer and has joined us this year as well. So, Olena, please, the floor is yours. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Olga, Anastasia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much first of all, for letting me in. And then Hackathon is definitely a family, and I'm really pleased to be here. And I think I'm going to address the teams straight away, because last year we all have met this online hackathon format overall. Okay, not all we got acquainted, but those people who got acquainted with an online hackathon, you knew that this is very cool and very fun. And from the very first point of view, it might even seem that it's very complicated, but still, if you will get in between the channels whom you should communicate in Slack, in what Slack channel, then you know that it's a very effective way of working. And because we were all working, and most of us are still working online, then making projects is very effectively online as well. I want to wish you good luck, and I hope that you can hear me well. Like, if you can hear me better, just let me know. But basically, I want to wish you good luck, and I want to because I'm also promoting science, and I'm the co-founder of the agency that prepares for the public pitches. And I just want to emphasize your attention to this idea that your presentation and your pitch is very important. You should not only work on your project, but you have to present it in the best way, because those people who are going to be watching your project and evaluating your projects, they're going to be evaluating your project based on your presentations and on whether you were able to present your ideas in the clear way, and whether you were able to present your strong sides properly. So I would like to ask you to once again talk to people who are preparing the presentation and who are helping you out to work with pitches as well. Yes, then I wanted to mention as well that the overall hackathon format is very cool, because it gives you the opportunity to find a team that might be located and hidden everywhere, and you can work online with them. It's very effective and very convenient. And based off our experience, we have in science, we have done an online hackathon for the youngest generation, and the team that came second were the teenagers of 15, 16 years old. They have been working from 3 different cities. They're still work online together. That's very cool, and it inspires us overall. So, and I would like to motivate you to find your people through online, even in the other cities, and to build up really strong and nice teams. And that's That's it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lana. Thank you very much. Well, basically, we're really happy that you have joined us because, again, we understand that you are this person who's going to be doing that from kind of a vacational location. So thank you very much for joining us, even being on vacation. I think that we have this digital nomad format for the hackathons. So basically, yes, thank you. So, Alana, can you please tell us about your experience of the last year's hackathon? So what was that really interesting and good from your side, except for it being the first hackathon in cultural sphere? What was that you recall the most? Well, first of all, Nasa, thank you for asking that, because basically what I have remembered is that I've become a team mentor and I've become a part of the team, because basically I've also decided that I will join and I wanted to do something more for the team than I was supposed to. And as a part of the team, we were doing a very interesting projects where we're not only doing the very cool projects, we've helped to evaluate those projects as well, but in the end we have made a very cool concept for Alona. Oh yeah, that's unbelievable. Yes, because we basically, I think that we have decided to do this concept during the hackathon, but well, like closer to hackathon. Still, seriously speaking, I think that I do believe what is the most important for me, and what was something that I recall the most, and what I'm telling to other people as well, is that is being all done in Slack, that is being done online. And when I'm showing this amount of the channels in Slack that I have during the hackathon, people are frightened a little bit. People are scared. I don't know how you are doing this, how the teams and the participants and the organizer are doing this, and I don't know how you consider your Slack channels, and I don't know what is your feelings about that. But when I have seen that for the very first time, I'll be honest, and I'll tell you that I was lost a bit. But I do believe that this is something that you can figure out how to work with if you will take a look at the guidebook for the participants. So I would like to motivate you to read the guidebook clearly and to follow the channels that are important for you in the certain period of time, in the certain order. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So once again, I would like to remind you that we have really cool team mentors, and you're going to be very, very lucky. So for all of the teams that will pass, who will be able to register until 11 o'clock today in the evening. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lana. Yes, thank you very much too. Okay, so we'll hope to see you in the same Slack, same place. Yes, I'm also looking forward to meeting teams. Okay, bye. And right now, we would like to introduce you another mentor, the next mentor of our hackathon for this year. We want to invite Max Semenchuk. So please, Max Semenchuk is a partner for Impact UA, and that is a very big organization that unites the communities. And Max is an advisor for the Ministry of Digital Transformation, and he is also the member of the Global Shaper community for the World International Economic Forum. And we are waiting for him to join us here.
Max.
Hi, Max. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you very much for joining the hackathon as well and joining our stream right now. Thank you very much for being with us. And I really wanted to, first of all, to ask you about your experience of hackathons. Maybe you've had experience of online hackathons before, and I wanted to ask you, maybe you would like to have a couple of words about the communities, because I know that you are the ideologist of this cross-cultural collaboration, and you're ideologist of creating big communities of communities. And I would like to pass the floor to you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nastya. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. That's a very cool project you've been doing for a couple of years already. Congratulations for doing it again. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Max, and I usually say that I'm an IT professional and social entrepreneur, and I have been working as an activist for many years. Right now, I collaborate with the Ministry of Digital Transformations. I'm building my ecosystem Impact UA that helps the social projects to develop. And I'm also noticing more and more how the cultural projects, and even though I'm an IT person, I'm kind of a person connected to technology, I basically see this very good value so that the technological professionals would join these hackathons, and this hackathon is a great opportunity. I have created my own businesses on this type of hackathon like this 10 years ago, and after that I participated as participants and mentors for some of the Ukrainian and some of the international hackathon and mentoring programs. So I have great faith that this is something very useful, that it definitely brings a lot of benefits. Should I wish something for the participants? Well, I think that then, yes, by the way, I didn't know that your first businesses have been created during the hackathon. That's cool. And you know that there is a very good trend because the people, they say that only the 10% of the projects survive in the hackathons, the most motivated. But if they survive, they're definitely very cool. And they will be developed in the fastest pace and the most intensively later on. So thank you very much for your participation. Maybe you'll have some advice for the participants of our online hackathon, because we have many participants from the regions, many participants that have heard for the very first time what hackathon or ideathon is. The participants who have seen Slack for the very first time, and the people who were slightly shocked by the amount of information that got to them. Well, I think that the best value for the hackathons is to communication, because my business has been created when you have the community that trusts you, that believes in you. And in hackathon, you can find this kind of team, this kind of mentors, this kind of people who will believe in you, who will help you to cross these limits when you do not understand something, when you do not know how to do that. You always find the resources that help you cross this line. So please focus on communication to find the most contacts possible. So this is the best thing that you might get out of a hackathon. And enjoy the process. It has to be very good. Yes, okay, thank you very much. It's very intense, but it's definitely a nice pressure. You're going to feel it on Monday when you're going to be already really sad because of the end of this format. You will be tired, but you're still gonna check Slack and communicating with some people. Because last year, our Slack has lived for a couple of more months after the hackathon. We had some communication and meetings with Mentor, which was really cool for us to see, because we're inviting mentors to work with the teams during the hackathon. We know that there are very busy people, and we're asking them to work with teams only specifically for this one weekend during the hackathon. But mentors, they support. There are also volunteering to support the teams afterwards, after the main hackathon has ended. So please try to find your people, build the connection with your people, and do some really good things together. Olga? So yeah. Oh, hi. Yes, it was after this kind of inspired speech about their own businesses, I've started to feel envious towards our participants, because, maybe this kind of next unicorn startup will be born to this world in our hackathon, and we will be the happy the happy eyewitnesses of that, the happy eyewitnesses of this miracle. Okay, thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. And I would like to invite our next mentor to speak up as well, Dmitro Mindra from Grammarly. And I think that Grammarly has become a very natural part of our life, in our everyday digital lives, that you cannot even recall right now when Grammarly has appeared, because it feels like Grammarly has existed forever. So Dmitro, are you here with us? And I hope that I'm really happy to have you here this year. I'm sure that the teams that you're going to be working with, they'll be very lucky. So I know what I also wanted to add up that's Metro, and we met with Metro on our other projects during the hackathon that we've had in the Data Control Center. There was an exhibition and educational initiative that we have worked on as well. And Metro wasn't the mentor, but the jury member, which was also an important thing for the expert and the supervising role as well. And we have been hackathoning different types of hacking different ideas before the people will be on how people can be able to protect their data. So right now, this time for the representatives of our IT sector, we have prepared an even more interesting task because we are working in the cultural sector, and this cultural component for us is very important, and it is very important for us to keep that in mind, keep the cultural moment in mind. Okay, so I've got a bit of nostalgic towards the next project, but Dimitra, the floor is yours.
Діма, привіт.
So, Dima, hi. Hi, thank you very much for joining us. And basically, I know that you have just finalized the internal Grammarly hackathon and you're already joining the next hackathon straight away. Okay, can you please tell us why do you like hackathon so much? Well, yeah, I will tell you a lot about that because hackathon is a very good opportunity to test out your ideas and to empower it, basically, because the idea is in order for it actually to work out and turn into a diamond, then you have to work with that with other people, because you cannot give birth to a good idea on your own. You need to have 1 or 2 or 3 people to work on your idea and to improve it so that you will have some diversity to your idea building as well. So this is the benefit number 1, that you can actually clarify your ideas and to have a better ideas of a better quality and a more diverse ideas or ideas of a different type. And on the other thing why I like the hackathon is to enjoy the creation, because our hackathon has ended, but I'm getting from one hackathon and already joining the next hackathon technically. Yes, Dima, we're really happy that you're here with us today. So Dima, last year, can you please tell us, you have been an expert mentor for us last year as far as I remember, and I know that the hackathons that you participate in and the cultural ideathons, there are very different formats. There are different people who participate in both of those events. So I do believe that in your world, you're mostly working with designers, with developers, and the people who do a lot of coding, and the people that are coming to you with some kind of different codes because you're a tech professional. In your opinion, what kind of experience maybe you've had while working with our teams last year? Maybe you have had some of the wishes or expectations for the participants this year. Well, last hackathon was really, really cool because, tech-wise, the hackathon is not about this kind of technological things. It's not just about the tech enterprises. We've had this intro hackathons and the gaming hackathons. We went to Lviv and the people who participated in hackathons for game creation. That was very, very cool. The hackathons are very different. And I do believe that this hackathon is unique because this hackathon collects the people from creative industries, the people who create cultural projects. And these projects have a real opportunity to impact our life. So last year, that was very, very cool. And basically, that we had very interesting projects, and we would really like to continue that, and we would really like to see that as well. Last hackathon, I've joined it at the very end, but right now I want to be here from the very start, because this is an incredibly interesting place to be. Yes, Dima, can you please tell us as well, so what kind of advice you can provide? Because we have a lot of participants who have very different, they have many different questions rising, and maybe you can tell them more about what kind of issues they can address you with, what it is that you can help them with, and how they can reach you. Yes, of course. Well, first of all, the best thing to find me is to actually inform me in Slack. I'm reading the hackathon Slack, so if you're going to send a direct message to me, then this is going to be very cool. Even if you have already booked the slot in the calendar. So basically, I already know the calendar and I see who has signed up for the consultation. That's very good as well. So how I can help you with? I can help you with the idea. I can listen to your idea and I can give you some advice on how you can maybe improve this idea and how you can build it up. I can help you with the technological part if we're speaking about the development of some kind of the software production, and I can give you the overall technological resolution as well. I can take a look at your business models and I can take a look at the business part of your presentation as well. I can help with that because I have been studying in the Kiev School of Economy for the MBA, and I'm really interested in businesses, and I have my small businesses, and I'm always interested in that, and I'm always happy to help you with that as well. And creating presentation, maybe if that's needed on the presentation of the product, how you should organize your presentation, I can share with that my experience with you as well. Thank you, Dima. I'm sure that right now everyone is going to the calendar or to Slack to actually contact you, because there's a lot of things that you can discuss with you, because all of us, basically, even in the technological world, all of us, we are interested in that. I have been organizing tech hackathons before, and I'm coming from tech as well, but we're all interested in books, in theater, in music, and it was very, very sad for all of us when we had this limited access to all of that, even the limited online access to all of that. So basically, that was very interesting thing for us and for all of the tech professionals that have joined the hackathon. This is a very idea-driven project that you would like to add up more energy and more power, more strength to do that, to make it possible. So join us. Let's communicate. Dima, thank you very much for finding the time, even in your intense schedule, in your own hackathon as well. You know, this is the priorities. I can't actually get you lower than priority. This is a very important and valuable for me. By the way, I would like to give a couple of advice if I still have a minute. That, for example, if you do see I don't have the available slots, it doesn't mean that you cannot, for example, contact me personally. We can always find some time, but sometimes people they are afraid of asking for advice, and they believe that there's no opportunity or no time to do that. No, we're here to help. We're here to help, and you're here to ask us. So please do ask us. There's no bad ideas and no bad questions. All of the ideas are great. Please share your ideas with us, even if you're not sure in those ideas. So basically, we're always are open, and when I'm asked about people to participate in our Grammarly hackathon, we've also asked them to share their ideas, because there's no bad ideas. Like sometimes if you haven't shared the idea and they've seen that their idea has been added to the document as well, because those ideas are helping other people as well. When you're sharing your ideas, you're building up the spaces for the ideas of other people as well. So I hope that you will share your ideas, so we will engage and ignite the interest to one another. And please do contact mentors and other teams to build up your project. We are here to help one another and to build something incredible. Yes, thank you, Dima. So please use your mentors and use all of the resources available for you from the organizers. Please use the mentors' time because they are here voluntary to help you. They really want to help us to save the cultural sector in Ukraine. So please use whatever is available for you. Dima, thank you very much for this inspirational speech. We'll hope to see you at the hackathon. Okay, great. See you. Have some rest till tomorrow. Okay, bye. Good. Okay, so having that said, we also have last but not the least team mentor, the team mentor for the hackathon, who has joined us for the very first time right now, but we know that she's experienced in those kind of formats. We have Lena Kalish with us. Lena is a team mentor and she's a talent partner, and she is working online with our startup Oxenet.io. So there's also a tech startup. Lina has a tremendous experience of working with startups and with big teams. So she knows how we should communicate, how you can build up your communications with different types of technological professionals as well, because she works in HR. That's what she's doing. She's basically interpreting between the developers to human language, as we might say that. So, Lina, we would like to invite you to speak up as well and give us a couple of words in hackathon as well. So maybe you can inspire some of the participants for your hackathon as well.
Lina, привіт.
Lina, hi. Are you with us? You are that very participant who's going to join us from the beach. Yes, I'm sorry for that. I know that some people already hate me because of that. Now we're really happy to have you. We have just had this conversation about this digital nomad hackathon, so we're really happy to have you here right now from the beach. And basically we would like to ask you to give a couple of advice for our participants on this hackathon. And because you are, for this year, you're also participating as a mentor. Last year you haven't been with us, but maybe you have some of ideas. You see the process, you see the participants. Maybe some people have already booked some mentoring hours from you. I know that your teams are going to be already. You're going to meet your teams today at midnight. But what is it that you would like to tell to the participants? Yes, well, basically, I am the usual participants of the hackathon. I have been working in the IT sphere for 13 years already, and I'm trying to work with the people and to help them implement their ideas. So I'm just really happy to be the team mentor, because I'm sure that you can work effectively like that with the most of the people. I'm waiting to meet my teams at midnight today. At midnight today, you can already write me and meet me as your mentor. But basically, yes, last hackathon, I haven't been at your hackathon. I have been participating in the digital hackathon. Out of 5 teams that I've been curating, 3 teams have been in the finals. So I am out of those mentors who never sleeps. I'm going to help you, and my main task is to help you to be focused, not to forget about the main aim for the hackathon of what you should show as the final result. And I'm going to help you to find the team, or going to find you some tools on how you can get with other people, to contact other people. And basically, I'm going to give you the opportunity, but maybe as an advice, I would like to also tell you that you have not enough time actually to show your idea and your vision to the people. So please try to focus on the main things. Please take down something that you can do outside of the hackathon. And please keep in mind that there are specific criteria that you will be evaluated in the end, in the finals. And please do not get into the details pretty much. Think in a bigger scale, and you can do that. Yes, with this team mentors, I am sure that this is something that is definitely happening. The words have been said on this kind of background, they will come true. Yes, definitely they will. Okay, good. So, we also have, in our technological world, and we have just talked to Dmitro, the notion of hackathon is slightly different. So right now, that we have a very diverse composition of the cultural and creative sector that you're going to be working with. And I'm sure that it will be a very interesting experience for you as well, and for our participants as well, because our main goal here is to introduce the sectors to one another. And I think that maybe you also maybe you know something, or maybe maybe you will have something to advise to people who have never heard of what hackathon is, who do not know who developers are, and this is the very first time that they have joined this kind of program just to learn how it works. Well, yes, the first advice would be, well, there are the experts that are here for a reason. And if you do not know something, if you do not know whether you need a developer or how to communicate it to the people, where to get those people working with you, please address us, write to us, clarify that, ask questions. There's no bad questions. The bad questions are only the only ones that you have basically not mentioned. The second things would be, please try to calculate your time, because you do not have enough of time, and do not postpone something that you need to do from the very beginning. So something that you have to do from the very morning tomorrow. And the third thing might be, try to be proactive. Do not wait for people to come to you to ask you about something. It is in your best interest to get all of the resources and all of the knowledge that you can get straight away. And this is a sprint, and your resources are limited, your time is limited. So do try to be very, very proactive. It's both for the team mentors, for mentors, to the colleagues from other teams. Try to be more proactive. Try to ask questions, especially if there are some directions where you do not feel yourself an expert. So please maybe know that there are some people who can share their expertise in any kind of field or sector. So please address them. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to take a look at your background. We really miss those nice places. Yes, and so basically we're already ready to launch the hackathon, and at midnight today we are going to give you your teams. We're going to direct you to your team, so keep on waiting. I am always ready. I'm ready already. Good. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So we have heard from our participants and mentors. We've got inspired. Should we keep on moving on? Okay, I think we already have our colleague Ilona Demchenko joining us. So again, Ilona, hi, it's a pleasure to see you. And I think that you're the main person here, because you're the person who is responsible for the most important parts of the hackathon. And there's a lot of questions people have. All the questions are for you. We really wanted to use this opportunity, and we really wanted to ask you a couple of questions live. So basically, I know that you really like answering the questions, and maybe you will also tell us a little bit about the prizes and some other interesting issues that we would like to learn about. And right now we would like to also announce our agenda. Yes, right? Yes, of course. Let us once again, if I might ask to turn on the slides from the presentation of our schedule, that would be really great. If we cannot turn it on, then I can already voice it out, because I already know that by my heart. Okay, so it's always better to have something in front of your eyes. So the very important and the most important deadline for all of us, 11 o'clock today, this evening, we're closing the idea registration, and we really want to make it in time. We really would like to have the most of the cool and interesting ideas that are going to be presented and working on the hackathon. So please let us respect one another. If you're going to be informing us at 11 o'clock, that's okay. We've lost some track of time. We don't know what to do. We will not be able to take you. But if you will inform us at 10 o'clock on, like, for example, how to help you, then we will definitely going to help you to find the needed answers to your questions. So please let us be respectful to one another, because, up till midnight, we will have to delegate all of the teams and the corresponding teams and to invite you and introduce you with your team mentors that will be waiting for you. The first deadline on Saturday, the first deadline, but the first meeting, the first checkpoint is the meeting with your team mentors. It's going to be at 10 o'clock on Saturday, 10 in the morning. I think maybe that will be hard for some people, but please try to make that, because again, you have to be there. The people who haven't reached the checkpoints, the team that haven't been at the checkpoint, there will be not included into the final evaluation. You can talk to mentors, you can keep on developing your ideas, but unfortunately, we will not be able to qualify you for the final evaluation. Then we'll have another checkpoint in the evening before your presentations. That's as well a very important checkpoint, because you will be at this moment speaking about the very specifics. At the main checkpoint, first checkpoint, you're going to be presenting your idea. At the second checkpoint, you'll already be mentioning some really good ideas, and you'll be mentioning these ideas already. Maybe you'll have some ideas for the mentors that will help you with your presentation. The final checkpoint, 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, is also important for you to make sure you'll be there, because this is an update of your progress and what you have done, and it's also some advices on the video presentation. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're closing all of the forms for your video presentation submission. Please, if you've missed, didn't say it the right way. If you are reading the channels, the announcement Slack channel or Ask Organizers Slack channel, if you are following your guidelines as well, you will never miss those deadlines, because they have been mentioned multiple times there. Once again, with this very picture, you can already post it out in your Slack. You can, you can make it as your desktop for the hackathon. We will also have a short but a very interesting program while we're going to be in evaluation process. For your projects, one will have our expert mentors working, the one that are going to be choosing the project for the semifinals. For the jury evaluation, we will have some program as well. We're going to inform you later on about what is going to be happening. We are going to be talking on culture in time of the pandemic, and we're going to have some very interesting cases for the hybrid formats, online formats. Maybe we'll have some visions for the future that can be discussed. So please stay with us, tune in. We're going to be still here. We're going to be working further on and developing and working and giving you the opportunity to get oriented yourself in space. Then, starting from 6 till 7 in the evening, we'll have the final pitch, 10 best projects that have been evaluated by our expert mentors that are going to be watched by the jury of the hackathon. The jury, we will announce the jury tomorrow. Those are all the people that you know. They're highly respectable people, and I'm sure that you all know those people. It doesn't really matter what kind of sector you represent, creative or tech. And there will be the award ceremony for the winners, the best part, starting from 8 o'clock till 10. And basically, we also have a very nice creative surprise for you. We are going to have a very cool band that is going to congratulate our participants, and we'll have the good chance for us to celebrate the end of the hackathon. But I think there's still a long way to go before that. We have a lot of work before that, and that is why I really would like to invite Ilona to pass the floor to Ilona, so that Ilona will tell us more about the finals, and because we'll have a lot of questions on the prizes and the legal support of the processes. Those are the questions basically that are going to have after the hackathon, because right now, as it's being said, as they say in Odessa, so right now that we have to you give the money first and you get the results then. So Ilana, let us start with the main moments. So let us start right now and tell all of other people in what way the evaluation will take place and what will the participants get. Good day, everyone, dear friends, dear colleagues, so all of our viewers. I'm really, really pleased that we are all together again. We've met in the hackathon format. I can't even tell you in words how happy I am that we're all here together. Trust us, we have had a lot of efforts invested so that this hackathon would be here. And now when we see that you're here and ready to work, that's great. The best feelings for the organizer of any kind of event. What is not the best feeling for the organizers is just that I was invited by my colleagues and they have already said everything that I wanted to say as well. They have been very detailed on the program of the finals. I thought that we can also mention our judges, but we're going to present the judges for you tomorrow. I just wanted to say that they're highly treated experts and professionals in their sphere, and we're really happy that they've decided to work with us as well, because when you're going to see the list of judges, you will also have the trust to their point of view as well. Speaking on evaluation, I think that Nastya has already mentioned the main dynamics and mechanics of the process. You will then provide, and I've already I'm going to answer at least one question that I have seen in the comments for the stream. There was a question on what is needed to be provided until 2 o'clock on Sunday. Should we provide the presentation and video? Yes, you have to upload the video presentation. This is like the final project for you. You can integrate it into your, you can integrate your presentation in a video if you would like to, but the video is your main documents, the main passport, the main ID for you. So based on the videos, we're going to conduct our next evaluation for what you have developed throughout the hackathon and how you have worked on your ideas. The evaluation for the team finalists, as has already been said, is going to be conducted by the jury. It will be online together with the jury, and you and the jury, if you're going to be watching for the very first time, if you'll join us on Sunday, and I hope that you will be joining us on Sunday to see all of the other pitches as well, and that you'll be able to draw your own conclusions and whose ideas you like the most. You will try to imagine yourself in the jury's shoes, trying to think, who would you award? Speaking about the prizes and the awards, so if you are following the activities of House of Europe, you know that usually I am invited to talk about money. So, I'm also as a money-keeping person, I'm also wanted to say that we have quite a good award fund. This year we're ready to spend, not spend, but we're all ready to award up till 300,000 euro. And we plan, and how we have thought that it's going to be two types of prizes, 3,000 euro for the ideas that are or on an advanced level, that is what is the way, so they've managed to develop it in a proper way so the team knows what to do with, and it will be clear the next steps for the jury and for the mentors. So that will be the prize up to 3,000 euro if it is just the very beginning of the idea, because sometimes it happens like this, that during the moments of hackathon you have got the idea coming, but the idea still needs a little bit work to do. Then if it's not the biggest prize, but it still has to be acknowledged as well, there will be the prize of 1,000 euro. The number of prizes will depend on how many projects and what quality you will provide for the main hackathon. And basically from our side, I've also already mentioned the amount of money, and if you'll have some time, and you'll be able to evaluate how many prizes that can be 10 times for about 3,000 euros of that if all of the finalists have done the best project. If it be other questions, there might be different correlations of prizes, but From our side, we'll be happy to support the most projects as possible. We've supported 3 projects last year. They were really, really good. This year, we want to support even more projects, and we do hope that will be good as well. If you are planning your idea right now, if you're planning your teamwork as well, and if you're thinking in what way you will receive your prize, I would like to give you the advice that you should not spend your time on that right now, because according to our rules and our organization, it follows the Ukrainian legislation overall. And in order for us to be able to pay you the award, we will need to have a legal entity registered from your side so that we'll be able to transact the money. This money will not be granting money, but it will be the price for the money. So it can be both the product organization, or it can be the self-employed person, and this can be NGOs as well. We're working with NGOs in the most ways because it's the most clear procedure for us. But I just want to tell you that you should not be worrying about that yet. Your main idea is to generate the good and nice ideas and keep on working with the other mentors to get the new expertise and new teams. If, for example, your team is going to be voting for the prize, and can guarantee you personally that you will definitely receive your prize. It might take a little bit more time due to some legal moments, but then again, all of the people have received their prizes. So basically, you should not be worried because all of the political things will be able to discuss and to work on that. The most important task for us is basically to concentrate in the best way, to fill in our energy level and to get inspired. So all of the other things they can join, can get to that. Okay, Nastya, I think I've covered part of the questions that you wanted me to answer. Yes, thank you very much. You've covered everything and you've discussed everything. So I'm also hoping that we'll be able to continue working right now. At 8, but basically all will get what they deserve. So let us do something really, really cool, and then let's get to Ilona with all of the legal issues to be established. Yes, by the way, if I'm still in the air, so I think we wanted to voice out a couple of other questions that have been mentioned in the stream. For example, there is a question to you, Anastasia. I think that you might answer this question in the best way. What does the idea validation means? Yes, the validation of an idea means that the idea has to be validated. There is this kind of a check. For example, I'll just give you an example. If I have an idea, for example, the actors, I don't know, I have to have an idea. Let me recall something. For example, it's really hard for the actors to perform because it's really hot. So I've thought about that, but I haven't asked the actors about that because maybe that's okay for them to act right now. So this is the term that we use in the marketing, in the product development, in communication. This is something that you need. Well, basically, if you are making some kind of product, some kind of prototype, specifically for someone, specifically for some audience, well, you need to ask this audience, first of all, to think, to know whether that you need to do something, to understand at this very stage, so you will not only build up the big sandcastles in your head, in your mind, but to go to the people directly. And our mentors will help you with that. We have really good, nice expert mentors from marketing, from communication, from the product design. So if you do not know how to build your ideas, please go from the mentor to the mentor of communication or to the product development mentor, and they will help you. There was another question that I've read is in what language we should pitch, because I know the right answer to this question, and the right question is that you can pitch in Ukrainian or in English. As you know, might you not know, or if you do not know, then I will tell you that all of our public events of our hackathon are going to be translated into English. We have a separate stream with the translation for the translation at the YouTube. stream. So if you would like to take a look of how you're going to be pitching on Sunday, you can share this link with all of the people for that. And if you would like to be pitching in English on your own, then it's a very good idea as well. So all of our judges, they understand English in the best way. So basically, that's a very good option for you if you would like to do that. If you would like to do that in English, we'll be just happy to do that for you as well. Okay, another question there was, as the final pitch, will it be on the format of the elevator pitch? Well, not really, because as has already been said, the main tool for your elevator pitch is going to be your video. So that might be called an elevator pitch, but it's already a previously recorded elevator pitch, so that the mentors and the jury would have the time to watch it and to evaluate it in proper time. This might be slightly easier because you can think, make a couple of shots, but on the other hand, it's more complicated because sometimes when you're going on the flow, then it's much easier for you to express your energy. But still, during the finals, please do not think that everything will be done through the videos. Please keep in mind that when the judges are going to be evaluating their final projects, they will going to show the video first, and then you'll have a couple of minutes so that the head of the team could answer the questions of the jury about what is that. So there will be the very, very small opportunity for the live contacts, but most of the attention will be for the teenagers and for the basically the best way for you to show us that you're the best is to get the video pitch. Yes, I do support everything that you've said. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ilona, for that. So we do not have, we have no more questions from the stream. I think that all of the questions got to Slack. Okay, we have a nice question. Who is going to be the facilitating online? Who are those really great moderators? We have great two moderators, Anastasia Slipsova and Olga Tuharina. Olga has turned off her cameras off, but she's the moderator of the stream as well. So I do believe that we want to see them straight away, and we're really happy to have them. Because of this really nice comment, I really turned my camera on. So thank you very much for those nice comments. Thank you. Okay, good. We're really grateful to all of the people who have joined us, who have been listening to us, who have who are already working in Slack, who are writing our messages for us. So this is the very beginning for all of us. We're going to see you at 11 today. We're looking for the team. So all of the individual participants, please make sure you'll find the team. You have to now improve your ideas, ask your questions, and we all are ready for you in Slack. So thank you very much for your attention and hope to see you soon.
Что же?
У меня все? Конец. Вот знаешь, это типа Настя Шредингера опять. Она типа есть, но ее нет. И она даже в чат пишет, но ее нет. Очень удобно. Ты знаешь, типа делегатор уже уровень бог.
Ну что же,
открыли? Я что-то сегодня, у меня реально, я что-то как бы начинаю, у меня такой, знаешь, расфокус, и я еще, и у меня почему-то происходило, я, когда отключался англоязычный спикер, у меня сразу включался перевод украинский, и оно меня так выбивало, то есть, знаешь, поняла, о чем я?
На какой-то дорожке сидела.
Я потом переключилась по ходу. Это я затупила, да?
Тебе нужно, если ты не говоришь...
Да, это я затупила. И я такая, у меня идет украинский перевод, сразу меня же. Такая рекурсия, я такая... Вот, но я потом разобралась.
Хорошо. Вы все отлично выкручивали, выруливали все углы, всякие острые моменты, острые штуки со стороны отстраненно, не со стороны команды, как смотрящий, скажу, что все классно. Вас интересно было слушать, все хорошо. Единственное, что не выключайте камеры, потому что, ну, реально это трэш в картинке. Оля, это, пожалуйста, это к тебе замечание последнее, потому что спикеры — это одно, а мы это делаем — это другое. Давайте не выключать, давайте быть все с камерами. Тем более вас не видно вообще. Если там в камере кто-то один, то в кадре, имею в виду, то камера вам позволяет быть всем нормально себе сидеть и не появляться в экране. Еще раз это прокоммуницировать с нашими спикерами, если они такие будут, опять же, Кристиан, Фабер. И все остальные
нам, конечно, получилось, нам нужно понять, как нам действовать в следующих ситуациях, например, потому что по ходу он настроил себе камеру, но он включил на, типа, я вспомнила, что такая тема есть,